Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott. Today's day 363 on my countdown to retirement. So let's dive in. So today's activities included reordering some rosacea medication that I needed. I use a compound formulation that's 1% oxymetazoline, 1% ivermectin, and 2% niacinamide. And I have to get it from compound pharmacy, and usually takes about 5 to 8 business days once I order it for it to show up. Comes in a little pump, and as you can see from my coloration, it's I'm getting a slight flare up right now, but it's a new medication that I started trying about a month ago and seems to be working much better than all the prior medications that I had been on, and I can use doxycycline if I need to on a flare-up. But I got that on order. Then I needed to help my mom with some of her investment cleanup activities. Sold some money market funds for her to cover her annual gifting, and then changed some of the dividend reinvestment instructions across some of her accounts. Then I spend a bunch of time catching up on my own investment filing paperwork. Generally, when the statements come in, along with trade confirmations, etc., I kind of toss them in a drawer, and then at some point during the month, I'll sit down and go through everything, 3-hole punch them, and put them into the binders that I use to keep track of everything. Once I finished that activity, I went shopping today, since I indicated on yesterday's video that Kroger has 4x fuel points on Friday with their digital coupon. So I went to Kroger today. I also did a quick trip to Costco and a super fast trip at Wal-Mart. And while I was at Kroger, I was able to pick up the snow crab that was on sale, also a frozen bone-in turkey breast that was on sale, and then they had my favorite kind of no sugar bacon on sale until the 6th. So I picked up and stocked up on that. And I'll just show you a couple of quick photos of kind of where my freezer situation is right at the moment. I feel like I'm pretty well stocked up on all of the things that we need, to get the month off to a good start. And so then, now I'll just have to do some very routine purchases each week, but the bulk of all of the meats or proteins that we need, I feel like I've got that currently handled for quite a while. At Costco, I did go there because I wanted to get some New York strip, and their meat selection today was super poor. I guess it was picked over from the holidays and they haven't restocked yet, but they had I think 4 packages of New York strip. That was it, and they were way too expensive and didn't look very good. So I passed on that. I just ended up restocking my Frank's hot sauce. I picked up another container of Kirkland's grass-fed butter, which I'm going to make one of the blocks of butter I'll make into homemade ghee, which I use on for my steaks and stuff. And then I ended up getting a half and half for my wife. One of the things that I did get for Christmas, which I'm looking forward to trying out sometime over the weekend, is I got a sous vide, whatever, the thing that moves the water around and keeps it at the constant temperature. I don't remember what it's called, oscillator or whatever, so that I can try out whether, instead of using reverse sear, which I've been doing for a long time to make my steaks, I thought it'd be great if I could have a sous vide machine or circulator that I could drop the steak in there in the morning. It would come up to 125, 127 degrees, and then whenever we're ready to have dinner, I can just pull it, throw it on the grill for 2 minutes on each side, and dinner be done. So looking forward to trying that out. And then I just had to pick up a quick new toothbrush for the new year for my wife at Walmart. While I was at Costco, I did get that rotisserie chicken, so when I got home, I deboned that. My wife hasn't been feeling well, so I wanted her to have something, when she woke up, that she could easily consume if she wanted it. Then I went in and updated my dividend reinvestment settings on my accounts. Some of the things that I was attempting to sell or rebalance, I took dividend reinvestment off because I didn't obviously want to sell something and then all of a sudden have something get purchased after the sale if I forgot to go back in and clear it off. So I made sure that the appropriate settings were applied for any of the investments that I have either for sale or that I just want to grow within the account. And then I spent some time generating an aggregate portfolio performance versus my benchmark, which is, for me, I want it to be moderately aggressive. So the benchmark, as you'll see here, achieved a 14.83% return. I underperformed the benchmark. I only was able to get a 12.81% return. And in fact, the only index that we exceeded was the Russell 2000. So while the return in nominal terms I'm pretty happy with, like, almost 13% is pretty darn good. So I'm pretty happy with that. But relative to what I could have gotten had my mix of investments been different, not as happy as I would have otherwise been had I, had a different mix. Anyway, then I went and generated my portfolio performance for my company sponsored 401k plan. I did substantially better there. I was able to get a little over a 21.25% return this year. And that was broken down by 40% of my money in FAGCX, which is the FA Growth Opps Mutual Fund, 40% in SPAXX, SPAXX, which was Fidelity's government money market fund to minimize volatility, and 20% in OTCKX, which is the MFS Midcap Growth R6 fund. So by having a 40-40-20 allocation there, I did reasonably well, but I'm going to say the vast majority of that was because of, how much it was it leaned towards the S&P 500 for the year. And then I spent a little bit of time breaking out the allocation of the money that I have between my traditional 401k and my Roth 401k at work. Unfortunately, the system doesn't let me allocate and easily track money in traditional 401k or money that's in Roth 401k. It kind of lumps it together, and then I have to use a bunch of reporting to figure out which money is tagged with into which account. Obviously, Fidelity knows where it is, but it makes it much harder for me. So anyway, long story short, it looks like 11% of my holdings are now attributable to the Roth 401k versus the traditional 401k. So that's what I've been able to get to today. I felt like it was a pretty productive day. So that's where we are. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, I'll talk with you tomorrow. Take care.